Yeah, we are live.
Here we go. Here we go. Mifflin Township.
Excuse me, Mifflin Town.
Good evening.
Hey, good evening. How are you? Thank you for being here.
No, please, good evening.
You have 30 minutes for your project.
Thank you.
At the 20-minute mark, we're gonna hard stop. If you make it that far, we're gonna hard stop for 10 minutes worth of pricing. If you don't mind introducing yourself and then go ahead and talk what your project is. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for allowing us to come. My name is John Shetterly, one of the supervisors for Mifflin Township. There's Jordan Shetterly, also a supervisor in the township. Lauren, you're smiling. I think somebody recognizes her somewhere.
We're not here.
Welcome again.
With our township. So thank you for the opportunity to come and present our project.
Thank you.
Not sure how familiar you are with Mifflin Township. I'll just start there. Rural area, end of the county, and we border actually Northumberland County. So at the upper end, we have approximately 15 square miles. This is the size of our township, and in that we have approximately 31 miles of roads that we're responsible to maintain. The population from the 2020 census suggested we had 817 residents. So it's rather small in people. And of course, we would say probably still less than 1,000, even at this point since 2020. And it's a small budget. And of course, with that small of a population, the occupation tax, you would see how that all plays into a small budget. Also, we make mention of the fact that our township encompasses completely the Berrysburg borough, and not that we're responsible for it, but we do assist. They're once again a small borough, a small budget, little or no equipment, so we often do get called upon. Currently, we're mowing their roads, along their roads. They utilize or we send somebody to help them with our backhoe, anything that projects that they need. And at the beginning of this winter, just a few weeks ago, an early snowstorm, which they weren't really prepared for, I suppose, didn't have a contract, so our guys went and plowed their streets and stuff. So we just make mention of it because we do assist them as we can. The project that currently needs addressing, and you can see it on the picture, is an old frame structure, uncertain of the origination date, probably somewhere maybe the 60s or the 70s. Wasn't really able to get a firm date on that. The guys responsible for that, unfortunately, no longer living.
Correct.
But built back in the day, looks to me like it's been built in sections, additions added, and definitely in a state of disrepair. The current issue that we're talking about tonight is salt storage construction, and you can see the area there that's marked for salt. It says mixed at the top. Really isn't large enough for what we need. We're proposing a 3-section unit, which is pretty current. Some of them even 4 in a lot of the townships, so that you have room for the various components and then a place for mixed product so that it's ready. This building is not high enough. So when we get deliveries from co-stars, they can't even bring a dump truck in and dump it in our bin. They dump it outside, and we have to push it in with a loader. So it's additional handling. It's just not big enough for current status, how things need to be done. So it works, but it's not working well. The other thing that's of major concern to me when I look at the building is structural issues, and it's hard to take pictures to really show you when that building was full, which it's not full of salt right now, but when it was full, it's a frame, it was built frame. It just has boards on the side. Boards deteriorate after a number of years. And I looked just a few months ago, I was walking through one day and I see a structural beam and it's going like this with salt on the inside. And that's very concerning to me, especially if there's equipment parked there, people. It becomes a safety issue when it's full, the walls are starting to push. They need to be replaced with the current structure of concrete walls for durability and of course of a sufficient height so that it can be managed properly. Dirt floors at this point, this entire building is dirt floors. So that would be a great improvement to be able to build a building, concrete floors, concrete walls, to be able to do proper. As you're aware from your questions, this is you look at that building, that's not just a salt shed. That is also a storage unit for other equipment. So I'm going to call this part of a larger project, the salt shed being part of that larger project. And the problems with the rest of the building are some of the same things. It's a deteriorating building. They're open buildings. As you can see, there's no doors. There's no floors. It's dirt. They're not large enough. The picture there shows our backhoe. When you pull the bucket in, the building's not high enough. You can't get it inside. So, we do the best we can to get our stuff in out of the weather. But unfortunately, with not having enough space, which is part of another project beside the salt shed. But we're looking to replace that entire building, probably in pieces, and do a salt shed, and then do other storage as well to complete that project. And currently, we're seeking some LSA funds, I think, that we're working with, potentially to assist in some of the other parts of that building. So our goals would be to upgrade our storage to keep our equipment and our supplies protected and ready to service the needs of our residents in our communities. Keep our trucks inside, ready to go in case of a storm. A great concern, of course, is EMS. Unfortunately, ambulance calls come on bad nights. We need to have equipment prepared and ready to go. We have some very interesting rural areas. One of them is a mountain. It's a troubled spot. I don't know if it made the news, but we had a tractor trailer hung on it on Saturday. It was referred to as GPS swallowing another one. I'm sure GPS sent somebody on a mountain road. So that's the type of that's the stuff we're dealing with. But we have houses in those areas,
Yes.
so we need to keep it open, need to keep it in shape. So the best we can do with any of our equipment and stuff to be ready to go. We often take our loader to that mountain. Trees are down. It's one of those kind of things. So just need to keep everything ready. That's what we're working for.
Plus that mountain's also dirt.
It is dirt and gravel. The north side gets really interesting in the winter. We've had people hung on there. A local towing company probably makes out positively from that mountain, but we do the best we can. Often start at the bottom, back our way up over to solve it because you can't take equipment to the top. So it's just some of what we're dealing with. So the property usage.
No, we'll get there.
Okay.
Property usage
Thank you.
would be equipment storage, for this entire building, or equipment repairs, material staging and storage for projects that we're working on. Of course, on our properties, it's also our meeting room. It's also a local polling place for Mifflin Township. And that wouldn't be part of this building,
Right.
but that's all that goes on. So the other thing on our property and not part of this building as well, I'm just going to throw it out. A recent development. We had a new emergency management coordinator appointed, which townships are supposed to have. Unfortunately, we went, I think, maybe a few years. There was just nobody seemingly available. Somebody has surfaced, a retired gentleman who bleeds EMS, I guess we'll say. He bleeds emergencies and has volunteered to step up. He's joined forces with our township, with Beresford Borough, with Pillow Borough. And one of the potential things we're looking at, this isn't finalized yet, but the potential of even using our building as kind of a local setup in case of emergency, where they would set up their equipment, their computers and everything to be able to conduct whatever emergencies are necessary in the area. It's just another thing that happens on a small piece of property that we're working on. Questions?
Building looks like it could use some help, that's for sure, with those pictures on the bottom.
I hate to say it, but I think the newest thing is that tractor.
Is that just salt for your township, or do you also let other townships store theirs?
That's just for us.
Okay.
I mean, it would have been used this year for Berrysburg. We did salt for the borough
Okay.
since we worked for them. But no, the other townships, actually, I should have brought you some pictures of what they're doing.
Did you also say Reed Township? Was that the other?
No.
No, you said Marysburg.
Berrysburg.
Okay.
Yeah, and we border Pillow Borough,
Pillow.
and that's who's working with us on the EMC
Gotcha.
on that project.
Thank you.
A question for you. Will the new building also provide additional potential to mitigate environmental impact of the salt storage? Are there concerns built into play that would, maybe have a concrete floor, maybe have a better way to contain the salt? Is that also part of the project?
Yeah, that would be part of, you probably looked at the plans. I mean, a bigger building to start with, so there's room to put it back in. I don't know, we haven't really talked about it yet. Some of the new ones, I just saw over Paxton put some nice, I don't know if you call them doors. They're like a curtain that comes down in the
I
front.
mean, I would imagine it's certainly going to help mitigate that.
Yeah.
And then, what is your township's annual budget?
It's around 500,000.
All right, so this is a huge project to come out of your
Yeah,
budget.
absolutely. And unfortunately, we've gone a lot of years with not a lot of upgrades.
I understand.
So in recent years, we've actually obtained 2 upgraded trucks. They're not new trucks, but to us, they're beautiful trucks.
Right.
So once again, there was another, $100,000 in short order. It didn't stop at that to put 2 trucks on the road.
Were you able to obtain the wheel loader and the skid loader from the last grant cycle?
We got the paperwork on that yet.
Oh.
To the best of my knowledge, we got paperwork to sign that I believe we signed at the November meeting. But I've not heard any updates from our secretary. Maybe somebody here can update me, because we're excited about that.
Miss Wanda, the secretary, we asked her, I think, the last couple of meetings, she hasn't heard anything, so.
1 second.
Get an update now.
Yeah, just the notes that we have, our solicitor provides outstanding, narratives on the project, and she had indicated that during the last grant cycle, we received $107,000 for the purchase of those.
And
So the agreement is over on the 4th floor for signature. So as soon as it is returned to me, it will be sent out with instructions on how to request those funds.
we are anxiously awaiting that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's the only question I had. It sounds like it's not a want, it's a need that you need to have,
We feel that way, absolutely.
This is just a side question.
Sure.
Because of the way your current shed is set up, do you have to spend additional money for product waste? Because it's a lot of it's
I'm
exposed.
sure we do, because it's exposed to the weather.
Uh-huh.
And one of our considerations for the building would probably be to turn it in a different direction. Unfortunately, our land is a little funny. It's kind of a triangle, so it somewhat limits us. But one of the things we're looking at would be to move this salt shed with its back facing west, which would certainly help
Keep it out of the way.
keep, the weather, because most of our wind comes from that direction. So it's one of the considerations. But yes, I believe so. And the double handle. Because when we get it, we have to put it in. So yes, there would be savings.
And as Tim said, getting that salt off right now it's dirt floor,
Mhm.
putting it on concrete, that's the plan of this.
Yes.
Modern
project.
standards.
Yeah.
And the load.
Get it up
And,
on, and concrete walls, not
Yeah.
against these boards.
Yeah.
I don't know if this picture really shows it, but as we work down the pile, look at those boards and it's a little scary.
Yeah, so it's interesting in these meetings, we live in bigger townships.
Oh,
So we've been meeting with people from the upper part of the county, and it just amazes me. We work well together, But it just seems like your boroughs and your townships up there just, you really look out for each other and it's,
Right, too.
yeah.
And I feel like the Upper Dolphin COG,
Yeah,
and Jordan and I normally attend most of those meetings. So we do meet with other township supervisors and, get to brush shoulders that way, learn from each other.
Very resourceful and resilient.
yeah, that's good.
And that's why we're happy for, we so much appreciate that grant. We know that's not going to buy us new equipment, but that's going to buy us good used equipment that's going to last us for years.
Fantastic. Helen?
Great presentation.
Yeah. Very good. We really appreciate your time.
Good too.
Appreciate
So
it.
congratulations on your great.
You great, look, Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
Christmas present we got.
Yeah, very nice.
We're seeing a lot of these are similar, the same people making the same.
Layout,
The
content is what matters.
Are you the content creator on this one?
I reviewed them. I can't take full credit. No, I think I guess the other thing, we, the township is pursuing funding for the larger improvement as well. And, there is a CFA board meeting scheduled for Thursday. We haven't seen the agenda published yet, but hopeful that awards will be on there.
Fantastic.
What good deal.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
to
Well,
you.
let
else
us
for us?
know too, that you could let us in the event.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted of any relationship or impact or otherwise association if an award is made.
Yeah, just send your information to make sure the board gets it.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Wonderful.
well. And Happy New Year and all that
Is
stuff.
it here?
Huh?
Are you out? You're done for the night?
Yes,
Is the Pillow Hotel still open for business?
It
Yes,
is.
it is. Yeah, I love going up.
Good breakfast.
Yes,
All right.
and I've heard a lot. The breakfast is really good, so it's real nice.
But Skianos is operating that now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Very good.
And actually, right down the street from them, left inside a new pizza place. Just in the last one.
I saw that.
The
Campground.
it used to be the Villa General
Mhm.
Store. It was a small-
Maybe.
It was really full last Saturday.
I know I went by there one evening and
Mm-hmm.
pretty good crowd too.
Maybe we should take these meetings on the road.
She would be almost home.
It would be.
Yeah.
That'd be
Thank you,
nice.
thank
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
have a nice evening.
Yes.
You too, thanks.
All right, good deal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Into a
You
little
guys
corner
appreciate it.
office.
I was gonna say.
Get her a little corner office.
Yes. She's a lot of Dairy Township.
Did she?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
She used to be.
She worked at Dairy
No,
Township.
she did. I think
Okay.
she was at for two first. I went to dairy. I know she did.
Muted or live?
Live.
We are live.
Millersburg Borough.
Good evening.
Hey, how you doing?
Good evening.
Welcome.
Clicker right there in front of you. If you push the down button, it will work the slides, and there is a laser pointer if you need it, and you're on this one.
Welcome. We have 30 minutes for you to present your project, and 20 minutes we'll hard stop if we have any questions, if you go to 20 minutes. And we'll hard stop so we can be able to ask you some questions. So please introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about your project.
Well, my name is James Weil. I'm the borough manager for Millersburg. Hoping not to go too long, so I feel like a pretty straightforward application. Thank you for having me. It's good to be back here, I guess, for my third time. So the borough's been working on some revitalization efforts, and as part of that project, we purchased a lot on in the town square. So this is a blighted lot at 169 Union Street. and obviously highlighted in red there. So Market Square Park, Veterans Park. This area is where State Route 209 and 147 meet. We have our gazebo park there on the right-hand side, Veterans Park where our Christmas tree is on the left-hand side, and our business district goes up Market Street and down Union Street. So right in the center of town. And the owner of the Wooden Nickel, which is on the north end of the square there, purchased this lot and started construction well before my time with the borough. I think he intended to have some sort of outdoor dining area, maybe an extension of his restaurant. At one point, I think it was supposed to be a shared building between Medic 6 and the borough, maybe the fire department. That didn't work out. So we have this concrete structure that just sits there covered by or surrounded by chain link construction. Big eyesore in the middle of town. We've got a number of different projects going on, some publicly funded, some privately funded, all lending towards revitalization of the town. So try to highlight some of those projects for you. On the south end, on the left-hand side, you have the old Millersburger Hotel, now the Time Hotel, which is being renovated into a first floor restaurant, second and third floor room rentals, short-term Airbnb type, and rooftop dining, which overlooks the river. On the right-hand side, we have the old Truist Bank building, which sits vacant. So while we're pushing towards revitalization, there's a couple road bumps, I would say, and we have these two properties that we're concerned about, one of which we were able to get control over by purchasing it for, I believe it was $120,000. So we purchased that in 2004 for $120,000. We were awarded a CDBG grant in order to tear that structure down and then kind of bring it up to grade. And then our project goes on to like a public comment type situation. We were going to poll the public, kind of see what they thought the best use would be. Right now, I think it's basketball courts, pickleball courts, and some of the council members want, some of the business owners want a public parking lot. So those are the three top runners. The green that I've highlighted there, you have Market Square or Market Street, which runs north and south. That's State Route 147. That's set to be resurfaced curb to curb by PennDOT next year. Route 209, which runs east-west, set to be said 2026. I'm assuming that it's going to go into 27, maybe 28. And then Market Square Park, which is kind of like the home plate in between all of the streets there. We are finishing up a revitalization project, which we received a previous gaming grant for. The gazebo has been made structurally sound. I guess it was found not to be structurally sound, so we fixed that. New lighting, new electric, new walkways, new trees. So it's almost a whole new park. So with that, and our goal of eliminating blight, we've kind of sought to do something with this for a while and then pounced on it when we had the chance. So there's some pictures here of the concrete lot. Very unsafe. I would say it's unsafe structure aside from, it's a very solid structure. It's concrete rebar, but without the fencing, there's the possibility that people can trip and fall in there. There's also a nice large colony of feral cats that we're trying to deal with that calls that home. So we'd like to open that up, make the square a little bit more beautiful, a little bit more inviting, to try and draw businesses in and to keep the tourism up. So just a couple objectives I listed there: elimination of blight, economic development, community revitalization, and then public safety, and then the community appeal. Really just trying to bring more of that sense of pride back into our square. Everybody says Millersburg peaked back in the 50s, and we don't think that's accurate. So I think the best is yet to come. Our timeline, like I said, there's a couple different funding sources involved here. So we're looking to start demolition of that structure, hopefully in the spring, and get that site remediated. And then starting early summer, to midsummer, we'll have public meetings to discuss the future use of that lot. Hopefully, applying and receiving a grant next year as well in the next cycle to support construction for whatever the public decides they want to do. And then final construction 2027. I did have my answers to your questions, the few that we got. The current loan balance as of last month was $113,505. I did neglect to include in there that we intended to use, we expect some engineering costs associated with the demolition. And then our engineer said that anything that we do with impervious surface there's going to have to be some sort of stormwater management subgrade. So we expect to have some engineering involved in that as well. So anything that wouldn't be used to pay off the debt that remains would be put towards engineering for the future. If we do not receive funds the next 2 years, we will continue with the project once that lot's remediated and just look at other funding opportunities to try and put that together.
Any questions?
So the shows a picture of like 3 different properties.
Yes, sir.
So this would be the red property. Is that what this
Yes, sir.
request is for? And then the yellow ones, did you say you already purchased them?
No, so the bottom left, that's the Time Hotel that's privately owned. We had looked at the building on the right, the old Truist Bank building. It's a 3-story brick structure. We had looked at maybe purchasing that and turning it into a borough building, mixed use sort of scenario, rentals on one floor, offices. But the price tag's too high right now. Originally, it was like 3.2 million. And then when the Truist lease was taken out of that, I think it dropped a little. Still out of our price range.
So the bottom left, is that the Millersburger Hotel?
Yes.
Okay, at the time.
Yes.
We had a presentation a couple of days ago, and there was an organization or a county agency that demolished blighted properties. Is that a county initiative or funding that they could request other than the gaming grant, or
Yeah, from our demo fund, yes, from the land bank.
are you aware of that? Have you considered the,
Yes,
Yeah,
this
either way.
this is for debt relief for the purchase of the lot. Just to be
okay,
clear.
not the citizens going to cover demolition expenses?
No, sir.
No, thank
Yes.
I'm good. That's fine.
It looks very nice, but
Thank you. Have you been up since the Christmas lights turned on?
I was there Sunday.
This time of year.
We have nothing else in the presentation?
Thank you.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, drive safe.
Thank you very much.
You have to come back at 9.
The pool is due in their presentation.
No.
So sad.
Me too.
Yeah.
Williams Township. Yeah, we have learned a lot about Dauphin County.
Yeah. There's a lot about a lot. Yeah, it's been.
Okay.
Hey, good
How's everybody doing?
I'm
Good
good.
evening.
We're good. Thank you,
Williams Township.
Gentlemen.
Hey, good evening. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you. You have 30 minutes to complete your project.
Okay.
If it doesn't go to 30, if it goes.
It won't.
20, we hard stop it. So we can ask some questions,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
If you don't mind introducing yourself.
Sure.
Tell us about
Sure.
your project.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for
considering the grant. My name's Jack Schaefer, Williams Township Supervisor. Jim Shawsworth, Williams Township Supervisor, Upper Dauphin County, or other part of the county. Pretty simple, same as last year. We're just repaving some roads. 3 roads we identified for this project, for 2026 phase of the project. As you can see in our packet that we supplied, we have like a summary of the project so far. We started in 2019. We paved in 2019, 2022, 2024 was the first year that we got grant money from you guys. It's the first time we applied and got grant money, and then this past year we also applied and got grant money. With this past year's project with the grant money, we kind of went a little above and beyond. We had to do some stormwater pipe replacement. Obviously, we want to replace the pipe before we replace the road, before we cut the new road. So we actually ended up spending about $48,500 of our own general fund money to replace the stormwater pipes before we did the paving. Did the grant with the grant money and our liquid fuels funds and some general funds, additional general funds, we ended up paving in 2025. We're just continuing on with that. Additional streets that we're going to pave. As you can see, we selected 3 more streets to do. With the 2026 project, we'll have some additional stormwater pipes, not as extensive as this past year. We did 14 last year. We're only going to do looks like 3 this year. So we'll be using our own general funds for those pipes, and then using the grant money and liquid fuels for the paving work. Anything you want to add in there?
I don't think you got it all.
Okay. That's basically pretty simple, in a nutshell what we have there. I don't know what other questions you guys have for us.
Pretty straightforward. Ellen?
No.
Tim?
So the proposal from New Enterprise, are you paving yourself with your own labor, or is that for them to pay?
We're a very small township. We only have 1 full-time person. We don't have the expertise that the manpower or the equipment to do so. Yes, we bid the project out. New Enterprise was kind enough to provide us a quote, even though they might not even get the bid next year. So I thought that a little bit, hey, can you at least give us a quote for next year, and they helped us out. Because the last couple of times that I applied, I did not have a quote. We just kind of estimated it off of last year.
Right.
Because I hate asking, hey, can you mind giving me a quote, even though you might not get it. And they're very generous and provided the quote. So I was happy that I was able to provide that this year. One of the other your extra questions that you had asked if we applied for additional funds elsewhere. We did not apply for additional funds for the paving part for 2026. However, the 2027 phase of the paving, there's some extensive pipe work, more than what we did this past year. We applied for CDBG funds, thank you, for the piping project, which we would like to do in 2026 to have paving done in 2027. So kind of phased, hoping everything flows through. That's our plan.
Good. Michael? Smitty? Pretty easy. I mean, straightforward. Yeah, we appreciate you. Yeah, we appreciate your time. You know,
Guys, have any other questions?
straightforward.
Nope.
You gave us good information in the packet.
If there's anything else that you need from us, please let us know.
We will.
Got it?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys for your time.
Appreciate it very much. Have a good Christmas.
You too.
Thank you, sir.
Been saying that acronym for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a time closer. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys. George. I got what's back in this one.
Welcome.
Right here?
Yep, that's good.
John.
Okay.
We're good. Good. And welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. We just had a long day.
Oh, we're good. We've learned a lot. You have 15 minutes for your project. At 10 minutes, we'll hard stop you, so we might be able to ask you some questions.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, just introducing yourself
Sure.
and tell us about your project.
Yeah, my name is Jake Sprengel. I'm the athletic director, Halifax Area School District. So our project has to do with athletics, obviously. We started a track program a couple years ago, kind of out of necessity. We used to co-op with Millersburg for decades, then went to Greenwood for 4 years, but due to some other just things going on in their school districts, they had to cancel those co-ops with us, which left us kind of on our own. Back in the day when we were at Millersburg, we had up to 45 kids doing track and field. Went to Greenwood, the travel was a little bit longer. We saw those numbers dwindle, but we knew that we had a group of kids that we needed to service, and without track and field, we weren't going to service them. So we took the plunge and decided to start our own track program. We kicked it off last spring for the first time, but our facilities just are not there for our kids. So we knew that we had to embark on some projects here to get things done so our kids could have adequate practice and eventually hosting meets facilities. So that's what this project's all about, is getting our stadium kind of renovated and up to snuff. Along the way with this project, we've noticed some other things, some of our ticket booths and our storage sheds and our press box that all kind of needed upgrade and renovations that our school district just hasn't had the tax base really to invest in. So we're looking to kind of do some bigger projects here, and with your guys' help, hopefully, we can get it done. So there's different phases to our project that you guys saw in the application there. I know there's some questions about where we're at. So phase one was a lot of our ticket booths and softball shed and some other outbuildings that we had, getting them fixed up, closed back up again, new roofs, paint jobs, stuff like that. That also included our press box, which had damage in a storm, as I mentioned. That press box project starts in the next couple of weeks. So we're excited for that. We're going to get that thing wrapped in metal, new sound system and everything. So the sound system was gone. Have you heard it, Brooke?
I heard nothing.
Yeah, heard nothing. The speakers were gone, and birds were nesting in our amplifiers and all sorts of problems. So we're excited to get that thing fixed up. The speakers arrived a couple weeks ago and got them all wired up. So that's that phase. We're pretty much ready to wrap that thing up as soon as the press box is done. And the next one is the big heavy hitters, which is our track and field facility. So we have the shot put area, which is the big heavy balls they throw. The discus area, which is like the big heavy frisbee that they throw, and that includes a cage area that has to go around it. The high jump area, which is a big semicircle that'll go behind one of our end zones. Basically, it's an asphalt area. The quote we have here is for an all-weather area, so a nice quality facility for our students. And then the long jump and triple jump, which right now, Eagle Scout project included that. We have it there. It's usable. But this quote that we have would include all weathering the runway. So just making it a little bit, it'll last longer, right? Those things will last 10 years, whereas our current cracker dust and rubber pad are going to last 2.
Right.
So give us a quality facility. So that's the big scope. And really the goal is to provide quality facilities for our student body and our community who walks our track and comes and uses our facility and visits. Friday night football at Halifax is a big deal. A lot of people come out just for the social time, really. So it's a place that our community gathers, and we want it to be usable, but also look nice for our community. And with track and field specifically within this project, right now with baseball and softball, we might service 40 kids. With track and field, we're going to service 40 by ourselves. So we're going to double the amount of students that we engage in the spring in Halifax having this program. And we all know that keeping kids involved in athletics is going to keep their attendance up, it's going to keep their grades up, and it's going to allow them to be more successful in their futures, which is really the goal, right? It's all about the kids. So we need some help, though. We don't have the total cash flow to do it ourselves. The track stuff alone is $200,000. So this would be a great offset to help us out with that.
That's very good.
Question? Yeah. You're going to resurface the track? Yes. Correct. Yes, it's a gravel track, cracker dust. It's not the new all-weather stuff. We're not there yet. But you're going to do all-weather? That's the eventual goal. That's not on this proposal. Okay, so correct. All right, so you're still going to have what I call crushed stone? Yes, which is typical in our area. Most of our league has that still. Okay. Football field's going to stay the same? Grass. Yeah. Grass. Yeah. Okay, yeah, like you said, I think anything you can do to maintain or help kids, grow outside of the classroom is a good thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
It was a great Eagle Scout project.
That's fantastic.
That's
Yeah, actually, this is the second one that since I've been in Halifax, this is my 8th year. This is the second we've had in our stadium. Before the first project, our track was actually not a full quarter mile. And we had a student who was a runner who wanted to expand the track to be a full quarter mile, so now it is, thanks to that project back in 2019. So without his project, we couldn't even be here with the track program because our track wouldn't be legal.
yeah,
Now our track is legal thanks to him, and now another student put in the runway and the jump pits,
it's really interesting.
which was a huge benefit.
Is any outside company helping you all with the track, like?
With funding specifically or with maintenance?
No, with, making sure it's 400 meters or 440 yards. Is a company helping you with that at all? Or?
Yeah, so the company that quoted us for this kind of stuff, they measured it to make sure things were adequate. Our track coach has measured it. I've measured it. Our maintenance guys have measured it. The Eagle Scout who expanded it measured it. So there's been lots of eyes on it, but we haven't had like a professional track company come in necessarily and like line it yet.
And then those other field things like the high jump area,
Yes,
the long jump area, the javelin area. That's all going to be done by an outside company?
Correct.
Or,
correct. Yes. Yeah, so that's the quote that's in the proposal that $200,000 would incorporate all those things. The shot put, the discus, the high jump, and the long jump.
It's all going to be all weather,
Correct.
except for the track.
Except for the track. Yes. Greenwood High School is very similar. They have all weather high jump and long jump, and then a gravel track.
I'll have to go and take a look at it.
Yeah. Why not?
So the high jump discus and shot is non-existent right now.
Correct. Last year, we used a Navy softball field. The backstop gave us the cage and the safety.
Yeah.
We put 2 pieces of plywood down in the dirt
Yeah.
and bolted a toe board to it so the kids could throw from there.
Yeah.
You know, and weather took its toll on that plywood. So that didn't last very long. We had the high jump in the parking lot. So the kids were running through the asphalt there and onto our mats. We got mats donated from the school district. So they were using the parking lot, which is still feasible to practice in, but the host and meet is not adequate.
We got it.
How many lanes?
We are hoping to squeeze in 5 lanes on our track. There's areas where we can fit 6. So like with the 100-meter dash in front of the main stand, we hope we can fit 6, but 5 is the target.
Mike? Tim? Oh,
Is this both, is it co-ed?
Yes, boys and girls.
what's all you?
No questions.
Like I said, that Eagle Scout project, that's really compliments the young person that did it.
Yes, yeah, they did really good too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that's all we need. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Yeah, appreciate your time. Thank you.
You say you've been there for 8 years?
Correct. This is my 8th year.
What did you do, graduate and get a job or what?
No, I was a couple of years teaching mathematics before that. High school
Okay.
math.
No.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
Hope you're not here too late.
Have a good Christmas.
You too, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Am I the last one? No. It's still 8 o'clock. It's like I've
I
got
would
the
have
class.
given you 5 minutes. Have some travel home.
Thank you.
Never bad.
No, there
I've
isn't.
never seen a shot
No.
of Eagle Scout.
No, because yeah, the ones that have happened around us.
Can you cut that for just a second? Yeah.
Quote that was included from the applicant. I think that that's I'm obviously no expert in track and field, but it's a substantial company, you know, I think that they're reputable. This field Target Sports is where they got the quote from, do the work. At least know that they've been around for decades, this company,
Oh, the contractor.
yes.
Smitty, I ran track in high school and my first year in college. And I remember crashing and you get the little pieces of cinder and stone
That's-
stuck in your knees and then
That's
you,
what it was like back then.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ran 4x400.
I was 100, 200, 400 mile relay. High school and college. You're familiar with Pitt Stadium before they tore it down?
Yes.
That track, I helped design that track.
It's a level 20, yeah.
Yeah, it should never tore it down.
I went to one of the last football games up there before they tore it down. But it was on the campus. And they tore it down, put up other buildings. Then they extinguished by our neighborhood goes. You can always get a ticket to a Pitt game.
Huh?
You can always get a ticket to a Pitt game.
Notre Dame fans do it all the time. They got a whole season ticket. You prefer them
Yeah.
buy a full season ticket than to
Good evening. And welcome. Hey. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for seeing us early.
You're out of breath?
We're like, oh, they can see us now. We're ready.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so welcome. We get 15 minutes with you to talk about your project. We will start a clock when you start at 10 minutes. If you're going beyond 10 minutes, we'll hard stop you. So we might ask some questions. Okay? Please start by introducing yourselves and we'll talk about your project.
I'm Kelly Golick. I'm the executive director with Catholic Charities here in the Diocese of Harrisburg.
Hello, I'm Kelly Solanik. I'm the financial director of Catholic Charities in the Diocese of Harrisburg. And I'm with Gallion. I was built development and consultant.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for the opportunity for us to talk to you about a really important project that's here in Dauphin County called Lord's House. So Lord's House is a rare service that's provided actually throughout even the country anymore, which it is a maternity home. So it is a home where women who are pregnant are able to come and stay with us for up to a year. So to be eligible, they must be pregnant and homeless. And then we work with them throughout their pregnancy, providing services like parenting classes, medical, well, we don't provide, well, some of the stuff we provide or we coordinate through case management. Parenting classes, cooking classes, we ensure that they get proper medical care for themselves and for the baby. And then we are able to support them once the baby is born so that the baby has the best start at life. So we work with programs like Hamilton Health, UPMC. They offer a wide range of maternal programming that we're also able to support them with. We again teach them how to cook and take care of their babies. We work with them then during that time with us to try to find permanent housing as well as employment while they're with us. So even when they're pregnant, they must work or be volunteering so that they're productive. They all have treatment plans. I call them treatment plans, but goals that they work on, and those are individualized based on the needs of the women. So some, of course, they all need housing, but some may need to get a car, some might need, to pay off some fines if they're coming out of jail. Others might be looking for substance use and recovery services, and we're able to support them with that while they're at the home. So there's a wide range of services that we can offer them. We can take up to 16 mothers and then eventually, 16 babies, so 32. It makes it very tight in the space that we have. So the building that we're in is an old nursing home. It was built in 1938. And they moved in about 13 or 14 years ago now, into the building. And where the women are was the original kitchen for the building. So, beautiful yellows and oranges of the 70s when it was last remodeled. And so we took forth an initiative and raised money to be able to renovate the kitchen. As a part of that, we also put in a security vestibule. So one of the challenges that we have in that particular building is when you open the door, anybody can walk in, and it wasn't very secure. So some of the women are fleeing situations or have boyfriends who maybe aren't, involved in a healthy way. So we wanted to create the security vestibule so that we can securely enter people in, and we renovated the kitchen. The kitchen renovation turned out better than we could have ever expected. Part of that renovation though went into the dining room area, and now we would like to raise some money to be able to finish up the dining room and do the common area so that it's, again, as welcoming and as a supportive environment that we were able to create for the mothers so that they have nice clean places for their babies to be on the floor, and they have, comfortable area for trainings and parenting classes. And it looks cohesive. So right now, of course, it doesn't look very cohesive. So we have already written some other grants, and we received $24,000 just this week or last week. Just last week. So the project's about $110,000. So we have $24,000. We're asking for the gaming for $75,000, and we do have some leftover funds from the original kitchen renovation that we can fill in the gap. So we feel confident that we are able to fulfill the project with the funding that we have if we were able to get support from the gaming money. Did I cover everything?
Yeah,
Yes, I think that's great.
Right. I could do it in less than 15 minutes, Bob. No, I'm just saying.
How many of your moms stay with you for the duration?
Varies. So some of the moms, unfortunately, struggle with following rules. So sometimes we need to work to find another place for them because communal living can be very challenging. So in any given year, we serve about 32 women. So, so that's, that probably averages that they're there 6 to 8 months. So but that's okay. They don't have to be with us for a whole year. They can be there up to a year if they need to. We really prefer for them to get a good start and get out on their own as quickly as possible, if we can.
I just, the actual physical address.
120 Willow Road. It is in Lower Paxton Township, and it is well hidden. No, most people can't find it.
Yeah, well, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, it's well hidden. It's really where we have all of our shelters. We have our interfaith shelter for homeless families in that building, and we also have our Evergreen Halfway House that works with women in recovery in that building. And so right now we're focusing on renovating the Lord's House part. We have some other grants out to do some work in other parts of the building, but those are that we're working on some security things there and things along those lines. But yeah, it's very it's a beautiful little residential area. They're just 2 blocks from a bus stop right on 22. So if you know where the Dunkin' Donuts is on 22,
Sure.
and the Empire Beauty Salon place.
Yeah.
That's where they can get the bus right there, and they can then get going. Of course, we provide some transportation, but our goal is for them to be independent. So we provide them with bus passes and things like that, get them on medical assistance transportation as well. So we work with them to use and understand all the resources out there. But, you know, and we are happy to do tours for anybody at any time. Doesn't have, you know, so if you're ever interested in a tour, don't hesitate to reach out. We love to show it off.
Very good. Anything else, Minnie? Nope, that's all I have.
No, thank you.
Questions? Thank you, please.
Thank you so much for your
very
time.
much.
We really appreciate you seeing us
Thank you
early.
as well.
Very well, you were very well prepared and very good presentation.
Thank you.
Don't forget your pen if that's your.
No, that looks like that is for the projector.
Thank you.
Yeah, the only thing I wish we probably should have brought you some pictures of the renovation that we've already done, but we're
Check out our
happy.
Facebook page, it is on that.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thanks for what you do.
Have a great rest of the evening. Merry Christmas, everybody.
A very good announcement.
Foundation for.
Hello.
Oh, in front here, I'm still. The main chair.
Oh.
Good evening.
Good evening, well, evening.
Hello, you're doing well, how about yourself? Okay.
We appreciate you being here. Welcome. We have 15 minutes to spend with you to talk about your project. At the 10-minute mark, we're going to hard stop, so we might be able to ask some questions what we might have from your application and or what you tell us. So we'd ask for you to introduce yourselves, and then we'll talk about your project.
I did bring copies.
It'd be fantastic. Yeah.
I can pass them out.
My name is Sharon Bass from the Foundation for Enhancing Communities.
Kirk Demian, Foundation for Enhancing Community.
Welcome. Please, ma'am.
Just get started, I guess, if the clock is ticking.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
we will, I'll give you an extra 12 seconds. Please, ma'am, if you, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you, first of all, for this opportunity. We've already introduced ourselves, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of history about the Foundation for Enhancing Communities. We were formerly known as the Greater Harrisburg Foundation, and we were founded in 1920. So we've been around for about 100 years or so. In 2002, the Foundation for Enhancing Communities got their 501c3 status. In 2005, so the name changed. And we are currently now located at 200 North 3rd Street. And over the last, in 2024, we were able to give out 7.9 million in grants for grants and scholarships. Grants and scholarships.
Yeah, we should ask you for money.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm joking.
You want
We should ask you for money.
You can ask, you know that. And then for our fiscal sponsors, we gave out 1.8 million back to the community through those fiscal sponsors that we have. But in early 2023, we started looking and considering what we could do that we could better benefit the community. So there was an opportunity for us to say, well, we're at or relocate to a different property. So the decision was made to relocate to a different property. And the property that was selected was 2416 Park Drive, which is in Harrisburg, right off of Progress Avenue. That property had been on the market for over a year. So we thought about what we could do as good stewards over the current assets and things that we have. So we saw an opportunity to make a change on something that would impact the community. So this project is basically in 3 different phases. So right now we're in phase 2 where we're doing the planning and renovations for the project. So phase 1 was to acquire the property, and that happened in December 2024. And phase 2, as I said, is basically a renovation approach. What was appealing to us about this property was the space that has the ability to be open to the community, for us to offer free things to the community where they can come in for nonprofits to have meetings and things of that nature, events. Next to this property is 1 acre of land, and that land will be free to the community that need to utilize that land, nonprofits and organizations that line up with our mission statement as well. So our goal is to create a shared accessible space for nonprofits and our fiscal sponsors, as well as to offer flexible meeting space for events and things of that nature. Also to provide a central hub for collaboration for organizations. So this year, actually, at the actual property, our marketing team teamed up with the American, I forget the name of the organization, the Marketing Association, thank you. And they were able to have a nonprofit roundtable, and they talked about some of the challenges they're dealing with. They were collaborating on a lot of different things and how they can move forward. So the space is already benefiting the mission of TFAC right there. If you go to, thank you, to right on the slide. This space that we want to create as a community hub is about approximately 3,000 square feet, which is about 33% of the overall property size. So what the goal is for us is to get an ADA compliant elevator. The original application did say that this was estimated at $300,000. However, after talking to our engineer for planning and things of that nature, it was best that we pulled that out and made it phase 3. So that will be addressed at a later time. So that changed the budget. We did keep the bathrooms as part of phase 1. So all of that's going to be done in phase 1. Phase 2, I'm sorry, with the renovation project. So, and also with this space, again, it's going to be free to the community, but we want it to be a welcoming and inviting environment. So we need the accessibility by having the elevator there. And there's an existing elevator shaft already there, so that's going to help us greatly with the expense. But we do have to have all the other mechanics that go along with that. So, one of the things though we can offer also, I wanted to mention too, is getting with the comprehensive plan. Is we'll be able to offer various different types of training, and some of the ones that were identified in the comprehensive plans were training pertaining to mental health and things of that nature. So we are looking at offering mental health, financial literacy, outdoor youth events. We'll be able to offer job fairs, job training, affordable housing, first-time home buyers, grant writing classes that we kind of specialize in a little bit. So that would be a lot of the things we want to have in that free community space. So as I stated, this is the space where the facility is going to be utilized for free events. And then, next slide. The overall cost for this project is estimated at $1.25 million. So we went to our engineer and they gave us this quote for the elevator improvement to be $185,000. Of that, we did submit a grant to local share, the state grant for 100. We submitted actually for 185, the full amount, understanding that if whatever we get awarded here, we'll offset by that. We'll offset that and communicate that with the state. So this shows the 75,000 for the local share grant here, and then 110 if we get that amount. But this was also prepared by Jim from AIA Registered Architect. He reviewed the numbers, and these are the numbers that he brought back to us. We submitted the application through the Capital Region Economic Development Corporation for the state grant, and that was, we submitted it to them on October 14th. And I believe they submitted their application on our behalf on November 1st. We also did reach out to our local state representatives and our local representatives, and we got the support from Representative Nathan Davison and Representative Dustin Fleming, Representative Dave Matson, and Senator Patty Kemp. And we also reached out to some of the local nonprofits that we serve who are looking forward to utilizing the spaces. So as I stated, this will be a space that will be hoping to make it a welcoming environment for accessible to the community, for churches, local nonprofits, again, to host meetings and events, and it strengthens CPAC's mission to empower local organizations to build community impact.
Very good.
So I hope we get a thumbs up.
Very good.
Thank you, and any questions?
Ellen?
I have a couple of questions. You state in your application that you serve Cumberland, Dauphin, Franklin, Lebanon, and Perry counties. What portion of what comprises the Dauphin County portion of the, so as far as your overall community service is concerned, how much of that is exclusively Dauphin County, because this is a Dauphin County based?
Dauphin County is our largest footprint of communities that we serve. So
80% of the organization is Dauphin
80%
County.
of the entire.
The entire organization would be Dauphin County.
For this project,
No, for
No,
what they
overall.
overall do, with their overall operations.
You mentioned that you're offering trainings. Do those trainings compete with the trainings of some of the organizations that you're funding?
I think they would be spaces that organizations could utilize. I don't think it would compete.
Well,
In
I'm
addition
not
to-
spaces, but you're offering, for example, you mentioned the different trainings that you were offering. But some of the nonprofits that you fund offer those trainings as well, correct?
What our focus is, our strategic plan for 2026 to 2028 involves working with the nonprofits and capacity building. We did a whole bunch of town halls in 2025 to try and talk to them about what their needs are, and their needs were like capacity building needs. So part of what we're going to do next year will be a session on marketing, and then the next month will be a session on grant writing. So it's like a 9-part kind of series where each month there'll be some specialty that the nonprofit can utilize, and we'll offer support. We'll offer different ways maybe we could help them, or different ways that they could like help themselves basically. But marketing was really an area where they don't get to utilize a lot of dollars for because they're using it for programming. So what we're going to do in this space, one of the trainings we're going to do is this 9-month nonprofit capacity building training where we'll invite however many can come. The space can accommodate, I think, 110 individuals at like any one time. The bottom space of the facility.
And then my last question is, I'm a little confused. You said that you may be reaching out to some of the nonprofits that you fund to help you fund the elevator?
No.
Okay, I misunderstood.
The letters of support that Sharon was mentioning were from some of the nonprofits that were interested in using the
Okay,
space.
all right, sorry.
Yeah, for free. Yeah, for maybe an event.
Right.
The 1-acre land next to it as well could have a tent put on it for events as well. And we plan to just offer that for free to the nonprofits.
Great, thank you.
out of this space, will you be doing any like, for the community or people who wanted to walk in, like a health checkup or, just for even
Like a health
information?
fair,
Huh?
a health fair.
A health fair, or, you know, if I'm walking down the street and then gee whiz, I'm a little dizzy today, kind of, I wonder if I can go in there and get my blood pressure checked.
That would not be available with what we do. We don't provide like direct services.
But I'm talking about not all the time, but maybe occasionally, like having a health fair where people can come in and get information and maybe get their blood pressure checked.
Definitely, like all their health services,
Yeah.
if they needed some space to have a day event where individuals could come, that definitely would be available to them for something like that.
I got a couple of questions that help me wrap my head around this. So, and maybe I'm looking at it way too simplistic. You said you gave out like $9 million in grants, but why are you asking for grants if you're giving grants out? So like, instead of asking the gaming advisory board for money to support it, why don't you just give out less grant money and you don't have to solicit the grant? So like, I don't get it. Like, why would you give out grants but ask for grants just to take that money and give grants back out? I'm confused. Like that doesn't make logical sense to me. And where do you derive the $9 or $10 million to give that money back out? How do you generate that revenue? How do you do that?
So our organization, we have about $160 million in assets, and about 5% of that a year goes back out into the community. And of our 150 million, 149 of it is completely restricted. We are not allowed to use those dollars for administrative purposes in any way, shape, or form. So even though on our balance sheet you may see 150 million, the dollars are not ours. The dollars would be the donors that we have. Donors establish funds with us. They get a tax break when they establish that fund, but then those dollars have to go back out into the community to 501c3 organizations. That's what the IRS only allows. So those dollars are not available to us at all, as far as like discretionary money that we can use for whatever we want.
So the request for the grant money is to provide financial resources so you can administer a grant program.
No. I mean, we would administer that grant program if we were we're located right now in 200 North 3rd Street. I mean, every year we give out those grants irregardless of where our location would be. Our whole point is the majority of community foundations in the United States have a community space. They're located in an area where they have a space and they can loan that out to the nonprofits as well, because they need support more so than just dollar support. They also need support of space themselves. They may be in smaller spaces that they don't have the dollars to relocate to a bigger place. And every time they want to have a meeting or a training or maybe entertain some individuals that might donate money to them, they have to go rent a facility. They have to go get that space from someone. So our whole point of moving and trying to find a space that has that gives us that ability right now. I mean, we're in the Locust Street building, so you're all familiar with that was a hotel, and it's so chopped up. We're in all these little small offices. We don't have the ability to have a bigger space where we can have 100 people show up and offer free trainings from the expertise that we have. Sharon's educated herself over years on how to do grant writing. She can do seminars for free to the community to come out and give them tips, give them some support for that. We have other folks that are really good financially. We have folks that are really good at issues and collaboration. So if a nonprofit may have an issue, like, I don't even know, like maybe they do want to try and look for a bigger space, we could try and help them and work with them and maybe bring in a for-profit organization. They call that impact investing, where you bring in multiple organizations and that can try to help for this one purpose. So that's kind of our goal, is really to move and to select this space. It was almost perfect. It fell into our laps because it not only gives us the indoor space, which is on the bottom floor. If you've ever been over, the Home Builders Association is located in there right now, and Habitat for Humanity has some space over there. But the bottom space is, like I said, about 100 people. But then it's a full 1 acre lot where they could erect a tent and have an event right out there outside on that space.
It may be helpful to just take 20 seconds to explain the purpose that TVEC was established for. maybe some of the boards just don't know what you do and why you do it.
Yeah, cause like you said, you have $140
But they
million.
exist for the purpose of helping donors make an impact in the community. That's what they do. So they are a foundation that they receive funds from donors to help them make grants.
Yeah, I guess my question is, but you can't use that money to fund your operations?
So on our financial statements about 3 years ago, right at the bottom now, they have you list like the auditors do it, restricted versus unrestricted. It's the last two to total up your assets. So you'd be able to see it on the financial statement, what was restricted, which means you can't touch it, and what's unrestricted, which would be dollars that would be available to us. And as I said earlier, like 98%, 99% of our assets are completely restricted. That 150 million is made up of about 800 funds that somebody like yourself could establish. You send the dollars in, you can name the fund after yourself, you can name it after a scholarship fund, donor advised fund, but you send the dollars in, you're allowed to use that as a tax break on your tax return over a 3-year period. But in return, what the government wants you to do is send that money back out then to help the community. So basically, if they're not going to get the tax revenue, they're going to let the community foundation hold that money. It's still going to go back out into the community because the government will have less money from that tax break they just gave to send out to the community. So our purpose is really there to help support the nonprofit community when there aren't as many dollars maybe from the federal government or the state locals to help support their programs.
And then each one of those funds is charged an administrative fee
Correct.
by your organization in order to administer those.
Correct. That's how we generate dollars to be able to have employees, basically take out some loans to do these renovations and operate the foundation. We do also have some fee-for-service arrangements as well. We work with we do the record keeping for Downtown Daily Bread, Pine Street Presbyterian Church, CASA. So we have about 16 nonprofit organizations where we do their accounting work. We do some investments for them.
Is it pro bono or do you charge?
No, it's a fee-for-service arrangement.
No, hey,
Yeah.
you're telling me you give out $10 million a year in grants, so I mean, and I'm just trying to wrap my head around this whole process.
Yep, sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, out of our 150 million in assets, 149 million of that we can't touch for any other reason other than to send the money out.
To generate interest.
That
I'm not gonna tie up anymore.
any investment gains or losses go back to the funds. We don't benefit from any of that as well.
Anything else? Latoya? Hey, ready? Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your information.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a safe trip home.
Hey,
you.
happy holidays. Hey, George, I'm gonna step out for a second. Okay. Till the boys are. Thank you.
I got home last night to see the last 8 minutes of the Steeler game.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then, see, right? I won't do it baby right away. I should.
You're 5.
Yeah, so I'll turn the TV on, have a little something, calm down. And it might be too hard. I might not get to bed till like midnight. Till my smoking days, I might be up till 1:30. Doctor said it was bad for my health. Huh?
Even, I mean, you're not inhaling anything.
No. See, I have. That's the thing, because I get the kids, I'm smoking 7 hours a day.
Did he have?
That's Sorry, not good.
Those are serious.
How did I know?
I'm with you.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody out there, Tim?
No.
Not bad.
Yeah, well, we're Henry.
See,
No, I don't think it is. No, it's not.
You're thinking about this big party you're throwing, it's already planned in my mind.
Reference.
I will. Find out where you go.
I got a little house.
We'll be there tonight.
It'll be a lot of space. It's okay.
My smart one.
I wish I
They were really pumped. Oh, really? I think my dad won. Sure. Diane.
She was
Just did this. Yeah.
wearing parties.
You know, but no, she was. I should have.
Muted or we not?
Yeah.
Running for that. It is.
You know my husband, David Brown, he was a good friend with Steve.
Steve Bruce.
You see.
Yeah, that was really back in, when,
Anthony.
Oh,
Sal was one of the best people I ever did.
Sally's a great gal. I worked with her on the Homeland Board.
Yeah.
She's still.
Black girl.
She's amazing.
ready?
Yeah, she's a good person. Hello.
Hi, good evening, how are you?
Hello.
Evening.
Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Welcome, we have 15 minutes to spend with you, talk about your project.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, right here, okay, gotcha. Awesome, all right.
At 10 minutes, we will do a hard stop, and we might be able to ask you some questions.
Yes.
You've provided us with the information, but we'd like to hear a little bit more in depth. And if you would please introduce yourself and then tell us about your project.
Absolutely. So my name is Portia Grigsby. I am the founder of what is now Bringing Good Health, actually, BGH Foundation. We have founded 2 clinics. This is our second clinic, 2 outpatient mental health clinics, one in Maryland and now here in Dauphin County. And we are proposing Bridges to Better Health. It is actually a $200,000 project, but we are asking for a conservative $85,000 because the need is huge. So we believe that this proposal will be impactful, not just for one borough or township, but countywide. We know that the wait lists, and not Dauphin County, but the wait list for a psychiatrist or a psychiatric nurse practitioner, I mean, people have to wait months. And we just started our clinic here this year, and I mean, the wait time is just 48 hours. We're able to see people very, very quickly, but that's just because of the awareness. We just started, right? So in order for us to grow from 60 clients, which we currently have, which is already pretty good for just starting a couple of months ago, but to 150 clients, that's what we're asking for. We need support to build capacity. And we definitely believe, like, if we're able to get this support so that we can hopefully grow the clinics to serving 150 of the residents here, people will be a lot happier. I mean, honestly, we just a month or so ago, Capitol Hill, they couldn't agree on a budget. SNAP benefits were at risk. People didn't know where to get their food. We felt that pain at our clinics. We felt that pain, and it makes you really realize how blessed you may be, but it makes me want to work harder for them, and that's why I'm here today. So here we go. So I already mentioned BGH Foundation. Our DBA is the BGH Clinic. We have 2 clinics. This is, we're not just starting. We've been doing this for a little bit, and we're fortunate to be able to expand here in Dauphin County. As I mentioned, the wait times exceed 12 weeks. I mentioned months. Medicaid reimbursements, they don't cover 100%. So Medicaid and insurances, I mean, private insurance, nothing covers 100% the cost of the actual service to deliver to people. That's why there's a need for more support. Hospital rates, I think we all know that There is a significant need in the inpatient centers at hospitals. The discharge rate is crazy. And they're coming to outpatient clinics like us. In order for people to be discharged, they have to know that there's an outpatient clinic, a therapist to take them on. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. And that's what I want to be able to provide continuously to Dauphin County. The most impacted include, we know, working adults, families, uninsured. Even though, there's stress from not just gambling, but we have stress from just the day-to-day person, the single moms, the people who have to work multiple jobs. We know the everyday plight of people, and some of us experience that, ourselves. I'm one of them. I have a therapist too. I need it. So I don't think really anyone is immune to having a therapist or needing maybe psychiatric help of any kind. So as I mentioned, we're trying to expand from 60 to 150 clients. This is a very, we're very conservative of, these numbers are very conservative. Obviously, we want to help more people. We're being like, okay, within a year, we can grow to 150 people. Obviously, we want to go to 300. We want to help. The need is great. But we're being very conservative and realistic with our approach and our ask with such a big need. We plan to use that money, obviously, to recruit additional contractors, which are the clinicians, the psychiatrists. They are all contractors. The therapists, they are all contractors to meet that need. This will enable us to extend hours, especially to help a lot of kids. We service a lot of the kids even at the Schaffner building, detention centers. A lot of, we need to be more flexible in our hours. If we have limited contractors or clinicians only working certain hours, sometimes we can't deliver services on weekends, or in the evenings. Getting more support, we'll be able to do that. Providing mental health screenings and outreach workshops. We just started. So like I said, a couple of months ago, it's very important to market. So in doing those free mental health screenings at different places, so we can let people know who we are, where we're at. Again, due to the wait list everywhere, the more we're going to let people know, we're going to be very, very, very busy. But if we're trying to help Dauphin County, that's what we need to do. So our partnership and capacity. So we, it's not only are we, getting, hoping to get the support of you guys, but over the years and continuously, even now, UPMC is supporting us. Penn State Hershey, Hershey Company, Giant, Capital Blue Cross, Highmark. A lot of them have supported us over the years and have just given us support even this year. In the past couple of weeks, we have gotten support from all of those that I have just mentioned. So we're really happy about that. Continue on. Budget overview. So as I mentioned, it's a $200,000 project. We're just asking for $85,000. It breaks down to most of that will go to the clinicians, the psychiatrists, the psychiatric nurse practitioner, training for them. Program and supplies, they need computers, laptops, and the EMR system. So that is to keep the medical records. They have to write the notes, the evaluations, the software. Every time you add new people, new clinicians to the EMR system, it raises that price up. Outreach engagement, just as I mentioned about the marketing, the mental health screenings we do so people know about us. We're a new clinic here. So we definitely need to put a lot of emphasis on marketing and outreach. Why this investment matters. We already talked about the gap between the insurance reimbursement. It's not the total cost of service. Whatever we get from Medicare or private insurance. And a lot of times, we are able to deliver about 8 to 12 sessions in a year. Usually people on average, we're seeing them like usually once a month. We want to see people a whole lot more than once a month, perhaps every other week or, every week. So people need to get the care that they need. They should not be limited because they're uninsured, or, they can't find a psychiatrist or a psychiatric nurse practitioner that is available to them. And then also we also diversify the therapists and the people that, meet them where they are and understand their plight. So it's important to diversify the people who are working for you. Your support will allow us to do that. By people who are obviously this Dauphin County support, but other organizations, like I said, UPMC, Highmark, other organizations that support us in what we're doing, but also by insurance reimbursements. That's how we sustain our outpatient mental health clinic. And different grants that we pursue. So that is our sustainability plan. And that's what we do at our Maryland clinic. We have a lot of big supporters in the private sector. And the growth, in the Maryland clinic, we have about 250 clients. It's doing very well, the Maryland clinic. So we hope to replicate that here in So call to action in the future. We hope this is, just the beginning. We started, we want to have more clinics. We want to have more clinics in your area. And I think by providing this support is the start. Let's start for that. So I think that's pretty much our time.
Very long time.
Yes, I know. I was like, oh, gotta hurry this up.
Of those companies you talked, Highmark, Hershey Company,
Yeah.
About their support.
Yes.
Is that financial?
Yes, it's financial support. Actually, they have supported us every year. So every year we do outreach. So we have a big, we were founded here in Dauphin County about almost 10 years ago. All the companies that I named probably have supported us maybe, I wouldn't say 5, 6, 7 years.
Okay.
We have done a lot of mental health outreach. It wasn't until about 3.5 years ago we started the mental health clinics in Maryland to start. And the outreach of just mental health services turned into a clinic here. So they have supported us, our outreach for mental health for years. This year, now that we started the new clinic, that support is going towards solely the clinic, and they continue to support. So
financially,
but everything is financial.
If you had to put
Oh yeah. In all that support is about $20,000.
Ellen?
They should be giving you a lot. It's a big need. It's a very big need. It's a very big.
Because they have.
It's a need to do it. Yeah.
And I would ask them for.
Thank you. I will. I'll take that. I'll say. Well, I was told.
Your clientele,
Yes, ma'am.
female only?
No. So we see men, women, children, the elderly population, all different races, everyone. We're getting everybody already. I can only imagine if we get the support in terms of marketing to people. Being that we're new, to let everyone that we're here, what we can really do.
And are your services all in person because there's just such this huge shift to virtual mental health services? Is everything you do in person?
No, it's both. We do both telehealth and in person to accommodate to everyone.
And how do you find the additional staff? Because we all know that there's a healthcare crisis and a mental health crisis because staffing is such an issue. How do you address that?
Well, honestly, we're on, we have an HR department and we're on Indeed. It's a, recruiting HR platform. That is probably the main way. Indeed and LinkedIn are the main ways that we, put our job description out there and we get people and we recruit. And, we have a pretty rigorous evaluation process and make sure everyone has their clearances, and the onboarding process it's a little lengthy for us. But we're able to get people from all walks of life. Through using those platforms, it's working.
And that, I'm sure that's where the telehealth part of it comes in as well, because it's easier to contract with people who aren't necessarily local.
Yeah, absolutely. So, most of the people who work for us currently, actually, most of them are local. Most of them are from the Harrisburg area or maybe Camp Hill. We do have one from Lancaster, and they're able to commute. So we have pretty much gotten everyone local, which so far. So we maybe probably been a little lucky.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you believe that you'll perpetually have a funding gap between Medicare, Medicaid payment versus the actual cost incurred? And a portion of it is to close that gap, which would be just a recurring challenge every year, it sounds like.
Oh, no. So no, the goal is to have enough clients to be able to support that gap, right? So right now, usually we're in the infancy stage. We just started. So this is a stage where we're very, very vulnerable. Like businesses usually, a lot of times they don't last like the first 3 years or so. So this is the time that we need to pour out that, as much money as possible to marketing. My dad always tells me, like, it doesn't matter how great your business is and how impactful it is if nobody knows about it. It doesn't even matter.
In your presentation, it said that they usually only cover 60-80% of the actual care cost.
The actual cost, right? So then
how do you sustain the difference, like long term? How do you sustain the 40 to 40% gap? How do you do that?
Absolutely. So we have other funders who help to support our mission. We nonprofit 501c3. Okay. So
through donors.
Yes, through donors, sponsorships, through grants. We have a lot of people who have helped us over the years. That's why we're here and we're able to expand.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Ready? Couple questions.
No questions? Okay.
I said a couple questions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You talked about, how hard it is to find individuals to fill in your need.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, are your people, all your therapists, are they licensed or are they working on a license?
Our staff you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have both. We have counselors and we also have licensed therapists. And then obviously the psychiatrists, medical doctors. We have 2 medical doctors right now, but they're very limited hours because we just started and we need to have more money for what they're asking for.
And they come from Harrisburg area?
Yes, they're from the Harrisburg area. It's very competitive. Psychiatrists, there's a lot of money. Plain, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money, and they want a lot of hours. And so we can only
they want to guarantee
yes
like for everybody else.
And we can only do so much, especially being that we just started and we don't we need more of the marketing and stuff so we have the clientele, like I said, 150 to be able to support paying them what they're asking for. So yes, that's a good question, but yeah, we have.
We're over 15, but.
Yeah,
Oh,
one
sorry.
more question, one more question.
Yes.
Is most of the business mobile or people out in the field with laptops?
No, all the business is in-house at our clinic, and we also do telehealth. So it's usually the clinician in office on a computer and if the client is at home.
I have two questions. In the beginning, you mentioned BGH Foundation,
Yes.
doing business as BGH Clinic, bringing good health outpatient clinics. Can you clarify who the applicant is and how these other entities are involved? If we need to move on, we just follow up and provide it to Brooke, just so we understand, if you were to get a grant award, who would the grantee be? Because we understood the applicant to be Black Girl Health, so it's a different entity. If you could clarify that, and then also provide a status of the anticipated funds from ships.
Yes, so the BGH clinic is our DBA, it's our fictitious name that is filed with the state of Pennsylvania. So that is the name that we go by, and that's our facility name, and that's what you would be making everything else to. Bringing good health is what BGH stands for. Hopefully that is that clear?
And the BGH Foundation is a registered entity. I saw that. But the applicant.
The applicant is the BGH clinic. The applicant is the BGH clinic because that's our facility name, that's our DBA, and that's what we do business as. So then it would be the BGH clinic.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank
And have a good evening.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Safe travels. For everybody hungry, I'm done. Probably have a great time. I was. So, thanks for
Address is actually. Clinic location here.
Mountain View.
Going out of order. Mountain View.
Hello.
You can count. Good evening, ladies.
Hello.
You're welcome. You have 15 minutes to spend with you. Excuse me, you would ask.
My name is Kelsey Graff. I'm the owner of Mountain View Counseling and Wellness Center in Halifax, Pennsylvania. We opened in 2020, and our mission was kind of to strengthen the mental health needs in rural communities. So we are very trauma informed. All of our therapists have extensive trauma informed training. We are trying to reduce access problems in that area. There's not much up there as far as resources go. So we are trying to kind of bring as much as we can as far as that goes. We work with children through adulthood. We work with individuals, couples, and families as well. And we do run some groups. So this is just a little picture of who we are. So we try to be comprehensive in our mental health approach. So approaching the whole person, working with our medical facilities in the area, making sure there's not some medical concerns going on along with the mental health concerns as well. We work with Halifax School District. We provide some free mental health and wellness trainings for them for their wellness days. We also go in and see some of our clients in while they're at school so that they are able to maintain their sports schedules and all of that as well. So we see them during their lunch periods. Upper Dauphin Human Services is another community partner that we work with, and we try and work with all the first responders in our area as well to provide as much support as we can for them. So there is a provider shortage in Northern Dauphin County. There's not much up there, and there are a lot of wait times currently. Even with ourselves, we do have a wait list at this time. So we are trying to extend our office, essentially is what we're asking for here is money so that we can add on to the office, bring on more therapists so that we can reduce wait times and see more clients every hour of our day. So we also see interns. So extending our office will also allow us to see more interns coming through their graduate school programs so that we are trying to get more people in the field in a really supportive environment. All of our therapists at the office work with our interns. We provide extensive supervision on all levels and make sure that they're getting what they need during their internship program so that they are set up for success once they finish graduate school. Like I said, we kind of have some specialized clinical experience in trauma-informed care, first responders, veterans, and law enforcement, and domestic violence and sexual assault survivors. So we had received a grant, the same grant two cycles ago, and we were able to renovate a detached garage and make that into a whole nother space. So we have another office to see our clients out of, but it's also a very big space, so we can see groups out there and provide community trainings out in that area as well, whereas we did not have a space that could accommodate those things inside of our current place prior to the last grant. So we kind of talked about that. I don't want to waste too much time on that. So we are asking for additional funding, and that is so that we can meet that need of the community desert of mental health up there. So like I said, we're trying to add on 4 more offices, which would be extending the back of our current building to the detached garage and add on 4 offices within that space. So that would potentially provide 4 new clinicians, seeing 4 more individuals per hour, every hour that we are in the office. So that would bring us up to 7 clinical spaces every hour versus the current 3 that we have. So again, it brings more clinical offices. We are also trying to expand our wellness space within that. We have added on things like red light therapy. We are trying to bring on sound bed therapy, which helps reset your nervous system, the vibroacoustic therapy. And we have a wellness retail area currently as well that they can get some supplements that they need for different medical conditions, which also kind of helps since our Rite Aid in the area has also closed. So that's another resource barrier there as well. We are committed to Northern Dauphin County. That's where we kind of began and where we started. It's a very close to home spot for me as well. So, you know, my heart is also there. I want to make sure that we are supporting our community as much as we can. We are trying to work with the schools and our first responders in that area to make sure that everybody's supported. That way the community itself can run as best as it can. So I just wanted to show you guys at the end there, that's kind of what our space currently looks like. We try and make it feel like home for people. But my goal is that they're comfortable the second they step foot in our office. They feel comfortable. I don't want it to feel like a clinical doctor's office. I want them to feel safe and comfortable when they come in the door for us. So by adding on that additional footage will let us help that many more people in the area. That's what I have there.
Good. Ellen? Question? Kevin?
Can you tell us about your partnership with first responders? What does that mean? What services do you provide and how do you?
Absolutely. We see a lot of individual first responders for therapy themselves. They come in, whether they're referred by their company to come see us or they just themselves seek out services. But we also had our interns develop a packet that we are sending out with our police officers and our firefighters that have resources not just for us, but for food pantries and everything else. Our interns kind of put together a little booklet that they can hand to individuals when they're out in the field. That's just a quick resource guide for them as well. So we're trying to allow them to focus on what they're doing. You know, it's important for me, like if there's a fire, they don't have time to go through all of those things. They're responding to the crisis. So we wanted them to have something quick and easy to hand to people in the community as well.
So regarding the firefighters, emergency service personnel, do you offer like critical incident stress debriefing? Like, could you said in the garage or a larger space, could you hold a group debriefing?
I would love to do that. That is something that we have been talking with Halifax Fire Department about. I have been in communication with one of the individuals that represents there. I just have to get to one of their board meetings to be able to set that up. Now, they do have contracts with other places as well, so we're trying to kind of navigate that right now, but that is on my list of one of my things I would love to do.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Questions? Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
No additional questions. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Have safe travels.
Please drive
Thank you,
safely.
we will.
Good night.
Yep.
Sorry.
On your drunk? Oh, we do. Oh, no.
Yeah, we're just really out of schedule.
It's sausage.
I don't know.
You didn't go back to the place.
Very good. Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
Doing well. Welcome to the Dauphin County Gaming Advisory Board. This is your designated time and place to present your project for your grant application. We're going to allot 15 minutes of time for you to do your presentation. We will set a timer for 10 minutes. So you will have 10 minutes to make your presentation, after which we'll stop you if you haven't concluded. And then we'll have 5 minutes for questions and answers by our board members. If you would please start by introducing yourselves and your capacity with your organization.
My name is Heather Weaver. I am a manager at the pool and help assist grant writing.
I'm Tammy Burrows. I'm the president of the pool board.
And we met you once, but
James Whitehall, Millersburg, Borough.
very good. Thank you. All right, go ahead, please.
All right. So our project is the pool revitalization project. And this is some of our current pool. As you can see, the cement is chipped. If you look at the bottom right picture there, it's a little hard to tell with the coloring, but what you see there is actually damage underneath that was fixed prior to this season opening. We have been told that there's somewhat about 20 layers of paint that is covering some of that. And what that is doing right now is covering any damage. We do know that there are leaks in the pool, therefore that it's going into this surrounding community, becoming an environmental issue as well. Our goal is to remove all of that paint and fix the layers that are damaged and then repaint and seal for many years to come. We are one of the remaining community pools in our area. Therefore, we feel it is very important to keep this pool going for our community. Excuse me. This is a little bit more widespread of the damage that you can see throughout our pool. When we talked to 3 different organizations of our different needs of what we need to do for the pool. And the consensus was to sandblast all of that old pool paint down, fix what's underneath. We do know from the little bit that we fixed over prior to this last season, minor areas, 3 to 5 inches of cement damage was thousands of dollars. So we are looking at a substantial investment for our community. but we are looking at it as a long-term fix for our community. This is where our teenagers hang out. We are the first job for so many of our young people in our area. There's lack of options of what to do in our community. This is a great resource in the summer for us, for our community, for our borough, our township. We do serve neighboring areas as well, given that we are one of the remaining. We do offer a diving well, slide well, and a splash pad, which all helps attract local community members and people from outside the area. We have served hundreds throughout the season. And if we go back to these pictures, what you can also see is those are sharp shreds. They are also causing damage to our patrons, unfortunately. This past summer, we had a lot of minor injuries, but we do worry that it could lead to a more substantial injury as well.
What did you call it? What are those things?
Which things?
The things sticking up out of the
Shards.
Like the shards?
Yeah.
Shards of cement?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, we're looking for this grant to help sustain that. We do have some funding put in place, but knowing that there's going to be substantial cost once we get through those layers of paint is why we're looking for support from you guys to help us with this project. Thank you. Yeah.
Straightforward.
Are you aware that if you're awarded this project, the funds probably would not be available to you until after your next summer
Yes.
season?
Yes,
So
we did
you-
take that into consideration when applying for this, that, if we need to wait for the project, then we will, because that's how important it is to us, that we continue to serve our community and do it well. So we did know that that was most likely the, trajectory.
And what other sources of funding do you have available?
Yeah, so we did get a decent private donation, and we are continuing to seek support from our local businesses, individuals. We do have some business support. We did get a small amount of funding from our township as well to help support that. And that's something we continue to seek is further donations to help offset that cost.
Thank you.
Do you have membership fees or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have both membership and daily pass rate. So we have a family rate, an individual rate, senior citizen rate, and then and that's good for the whole summer, minus a few. We do some fundraiser parties as well, and we usually have extra activities that day, so that's a fee to get into. But if you just come for the day, we have a daily admission as well.
Is the pool open to anyone?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any paid staff members?
We do. So we have usually it's a team of about 6 managers. They're all age 25 and older. And then we have paid lifeguards and concession stand workers as well, in addition to our team of volunteers that help.
Operationally, are you able to cover your normal operational expenses with your operation of your?
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Mike?
I just appreciate you keeping it going. I was one of those kids that spent many of hours, days in that pool. Just quick question. On average, how many memberships do you think you sell a year in a season?
And I want to say, I'm trying to remember because we give them a number and I'm trying to think, we probably were well over 100 different memberships between individuals, families, and senior citizens. I can tell you this past summer, our membership did increase from previous summers, so that's also positive that things are increasing as well.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your efforts to provide the recreation up in your community.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work, right?
Yes, love it. So we do love it.
Great. Thank you too so much.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where does the borough rank this and what's the priority?
So we only had 2 co-sponsors.
After the borough's application or before the borough's
After
application?
the borough's.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip home.
Thank you, you as well. Same one. Thank you, sir.
Sausage.
It's because
That was your waster. Or does Brooke send me like a standard copy?
That's what it is.
There are guys, right, also. You should say something.
Dan said I was mean last night too.
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Good evening.
All right.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Gaming Advisory Board. Tonight is your designated time and place for your presentation of your project for your grant application for the Gaming Advisory Board grant. We're going to give you a 15-minute block of time to present your project, 10 minutes of which will be for you to do the actual presentation. The final 5 minutes will be for the board members to ask you questions, and you can answer those questions. If you please start by introducing who you are, your capacity with the organization, and then after that, you can begin your presentation.
I'm Don George. I'm the owner of Schmidt Sauces.
I'm Don. I'm the son. The CIO.
Okay, very good.
Management.
Yes, I'm set for a management position.
Welcome, thank you. Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
So, I guess just a little, is it quick?
Yeah, so down button and the label pointer if you need it.
Okay, so just a little background. Our business was started in 1961. We make all of our own like sausage, dry products, different ethnic foods like sauerkraut, stuffed cabbage, like we call things like that. So we started in Steelton by my great grandfather, his grandfather, Henry Schmidt.
Let me say this one. Everybody's mad at me saying this. My grandfather came over on the Carpathia in 1913, which is the ship that rescued the Titanic in 1912. So that's pretty neat to me. I always tell people that.
So we were in Steelton for about 50 years, and then we moved to Sawyer Township on Eisenhower Boulevard in 2012, where we've been for about the last 13 years. So I'll just keep I'll lead up to the project. So about 2 years ago, I was graduating college, and my dad always wanted to wholesale our products. Like we have our dried sticks, we have our sausage. So kind of got the ball rolling on that, and we were under the assumption that you needed a wholesale license from the state, which we got. We talked to our state inspector. She was really cool. I've had her for a couple years now. And so she helped us get a wholesale license from the state, which we thought is the only thing you needed in order to sell to other people. And that's kind of what she told us, because she said, we don't need to be USDA certified because we're a pork product. And she said beef and chicken are USDA. So we got certified because we were running. I would say in about 9 months, we were in about 50 convenience stores and beer distributors, or dry meat sticks, and then we were in Sharp Shopper in Middletown, which is like a local grocery store. If anyone's not familiar, which is only about 10 minutes from us. So over that time, we were selling pretty good in all the stores, especially the grocery stores. And then later down the line, I got a call from Sharp Shopper, and they said USDA's here and they want to talk to you about your product. So I went down, I talked to them, and we didn't realize we need to have a USDA certification in order to sell our product to other retailers. So they kind of gave me a little bit of interrogation. I was honest. I told them my inspector I didn't want to throw her under the bus. We were under the impression we were good to sell. So from that point on, we were out of the Sharp Shopper, which this is about 18 months ago. Out of the Sharp Shopper, and they let us keep our convenience stores and stuff like that in order to sell. So because they said we don't want to hurt your business, as long as you agree to become USDA certified, we'll let you keep your store. So that kind of our construction after that point took a little too long. So now we're out completely. But that's kind of where we get to the project. So we started the project initially planning and about 18 months ago we were trying to force out the store. So in order to upgrade our facility from USDA compliant there, you have to separate retail from wholesale. So not just pushing everything in the back of the shop. It's more just you have to really wall it all, have it completely separate wholesale like compliance is super different from just like what the state makes you do. So we had to get some new equipment, which pretty much it doubled. The equipment we got is double the size of everything we had before. We've been using for the last 15 or so years. So that requires electric upgrade, which is called three-phase electric, which now we have single phase, which is like pretty standard for like smaller machinery, but now our machinery is bigger, so we have to upgrade to three-phase electric, which that's where we have to get into PPL and bring a new service to like our property, which is where you can see there in that one picture, little construction picture. They had to do the trench, the lines, build a conduit, concrete, and whole mess. But along with that, we had to get a couple of HVAC and plumbing upgrades, hand sink in the prep area, which you can see on the right here is like a half-built picture of what it looks like. It's pretty neat. They actually just dropped like a walking pool like right in our shop, attached from like the ground, not even attached to the walls. So that's cool. And with that came like the equipment upgrade, like I said. So we upgraded from a 50-pound stuffer to 100-pound sausage stuffer, 200-pound to 500-pound mixer, a grinder that will grind a box or meat in 30 seconds, opposed to 2 or 3 minutes, and a vacuum sealer, which seals 20 packs like our sausage in about a minute. So right now we have 2 vacuum sealers that take us, we can seal 8 in about 2 minutes. So it really helps with production. Hopefully our goal is to become USDA compliant. Along with that, to increase production, we had a new smokehouse. So we had 2 smokehouses, and then we had a drying room, which sort of had the same layout as the smokehouse. The dry room is where we store all like our dry products, salamis, like our meat sticks, stuff like that. So we converted that to a 3rd smokehouse. We can kind of up our smoking capability, because right now, like especially now, we're at peak season, so our 2 smokers now get really full. We're like toward the end of the day, you can't fit anything else. So the new smokehouse will help. And then since we converted that, we built a new dry room, which is 3 times the size of our one now. So that's going to be a 10 by 24, which will help us, store a lot of our dry product, which was like a big seller for us. Timeline and stuff. So I have handouts if you guys want them, but it's basically our submission. Yeah, it's basically just what was on our submission. It's our timeline and our budget for everything. So, like I said, like the total time for everything has been about 18 months. As far as like the time to complete the work, it's pretty on course. I mean, the electrical upgrade, they're almost complete. So if you count like total work days, we're right about 4 or 5. The HVAC was actually really quick. They were done in 2 days. We need a new AC. Everything like that. So that was really quick. The plumbing was about 2 days. And like the planning and the permitting process were about 6. But I would say from like when we started planning to when we finally submitted the stuff for permitting, it was a good 9 months of the year, just till we finalized everything with different companies, like walk-in refrigeration, our general contractor, setting everything up and stuff like that. And then you can see there our budget. Everything is pretty on budget. I mean, kind of went over by I'd say about 20,000 with just extra machinery, equipment, and then a couple of things that changed from the time we got quoted to the time we started our construction. So yeah, it takes us. I have it here. It was about 400,000, probably about 4.5, somewhere around there. So that's as far as the budget goes. It's pretty on course. Like I said, with a couple minor setbacks and a couple different. So community and local support. I know that was sort of big in the submission process. We have a large community process. We're a small business. We've been in our community for quite a long time. We do a lot with the township. So we do 2 township events every year, which is the Swadera Family Fun Fest, which is a new event this year, it was really cool. They shut down like Dairy Street, a bunch of vendors and stuff. And then the annual Labor Day fireworks celebration they did, which is I think one of the biggest fireworks shows in the area. It's pretty nice. But they had a lot of other vendors, and they do that for Labor Day, so we participate in that. And then we do a lot with local churches, schools, and a foundation called the Ryan Mott Foundation, which is a foundation that was Hilton. Ryan Mott passed away about 25 years ago. They do a foundation. Every year they have a couple of events. We donate food. We have a jar up front where people can, tips and their extra money, and they use that money to give kids at Steel and High School scholarships. We do local churches and schools, Seven Sorrows in Middletown, Bishop David, Steel High Spire, Middletown, Prince of Peace, St. Nick's Church, which is like all kind of like in our general area, the Steel sort of area. We do a lot of events with them, which we like to be done forever. My dad knows me, he's done with St. Nick's for like as long as he's been. And then first responders, we do a lot with like Sawyer Township mainly. We do food on the weekends, so we have a lot of police, fire, different first responders, different township people that come and get food from us, which we really like because we kind of have a good relationship with them. We feel, so we think that's cool. And then a couple local businesses that we've been doing for a long time. Mon's Bakery is where we get all of our like baked goods. We sell like walnut roll, walnut cookies, strudel, stuff like that. So we've been dealing with them for how long? Since the 80s. Yeah, long.
Which is that?
Mon's Bakery.
It used to be called Belgrade
Oh, I
Bakery.
know nut roll or papa pizza is what we call it.
Yeah. So yeah, it was Belgrade and now it's Mon. But yeah, so we sell. They pretty much only sell to us, which is like really cool. We sell a lot, especially now this time of year. It's not like a traditional thing, which we think is cool. And then B&B Bakery, he actually recently he made strudel for us too. Central Tennessee on equipment, which they're about 1,000 feet up the road from us on Eisenhower. We bought equipment from Winchester.
We got all our equipment over
Every
here.
equipment we've ever bought is from them, and they're ready to retire.
So
Yeah,
good.
they treat us. They're retired. The owner's 93 and his son is 72. And so they're finally closing doors. We got our last pieces of equipment from them recently, which are the ones I talked about. Snyder Printing, Ice Fire, he's been there forever. He's 80 years old. He prints everything for us. He even brings
Very old school printer.
super old
Yeah.
school.
He's good though.
The cheapest one you can find. But he does a good job. And then Groff's Meats in Eatown. Primarily we use them for like miscellaneous stuff, like hams. We get our slabs of bacon from them. We season and smoke them, which we sell a lot of. They have really good slabs of bacon. We've been dealing with them pretty much since. So just to end off, our goal, like I said, would be get back into wholesaling. This is kind of what this project is about. Just to kind of upgrade our facility, and kind of take like a little leap into broadening our product and broadening our reach of our product, the larger retailers and then those beer distributors and convenience stores, which were really big for us. And in the end, we plan to have an increased workload, especially because it's going to be a lot of work, which we're anticipating. Hopefully, so that'll create a lot of jobs. A couple to start, and then hopefully down the line we can create multiple jobs in the community. Hopefully, I'd like to target younger people that could go out of high school. I think that's important. Yeah.
Comprehensive, take a lot of time and effort into it. And the project's underway, right?
Yeah, we are, we're really close to actually being done. We have all of our equipment in, the box is fully built. The dry room, I would say, is 90%, it's just mainly framing and finishing stuff. The main thing we're waiting on is PPL, which, trying to get on their schedule, and get them, put the electric in.
They got to hook up the 3-phase.
Yeah,
right?
so that's
Instead of
kind
a
of,
single
all
phase.
the conduits in place, everything is in place, all the machines are in place, like everything is roughed in, it's just waiting for them to bring that 3-phase hook up to our.
And is your plan with the USDA on track? You have a plan, you have a process, and when you complete the physical facilities upgrade, you're in a position to have them come in to certify you?
Yeah, so I just actually talked to my inspector today. We have a couple really cool inspectors. They're really nice. It's like on a texting basis, which I think is really cool. So I actually rescheduled with them a couple times because we were anticipating people coming in to push on. They said because people on holidays and stuff like that. So I talked to her today. She's going to come inspect us January 6th. And then I have already spoken to and recalled all the other beer distributors and convenience stores, every place we were in before, as well as a Sharp Shopper in Middletown, as well as Sharp Shopper in Everett, which the manager of Middletown. So he said we sold very well. He'd more than be happy to bring us in his store with him. And I just talked to the other Sharp Shopper.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Any other questions?
I don't have
I've eaten some of your products, they are good.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Leah?
Sure. If you were to receive a local share grant, would it be for debt reduction or just reimbursement? project costs.
I guess it'd be towards the. Yeah, that's like our only funding sources.
The equipment loan or the business loan or both?
I guess, whichever one, I probably wouldn't split, I just.
Equipment and the building stuff.
Yeah, so so she said we either one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whoever has the highest interest.
Yeah, whatever is
Yeah.
high.
This is a small
Yeah,
business.
yeah, exactly.
If you only get, let's say, if you only get half of what you asked for, that delay the project?
No, we'd be more than happy.
Yeah, that would
We'd be more than happy, yeah, it wouldn't delay anything, like I said, we're hoping to, be able to pay everything back. But in the future, we're able to, get in the stores and be able to sell, it comes back to be able.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Me too.
Yeah, you know, handouts, I know.
We're good. We had them in the packet already. They were-
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good one.
You too. On the go, guys. On the go.
We're ahead of schedule.
Yes, we are.
You ever had any of this stuff? It's good. Some good stuff.
Her name's Tammy.
Right.
Yeah, well, the business does.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. And that's why I'm looking for my son. So they can't see, because I texted him here. So that's what I go to. Then I go to. So yeah. Just go down that way. It must be the software on my computer.
Well, you're special.
Yeah.
You're just
That's what I
barely small.
Thank you.
No, this is your work day. Oh, so. Was it because of the cold weather? They did the weather. I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This house, all right.
Terrible. Well. It's fun. Same time, figure body for the whole day fighting. Okay, I want to go.
Yeah.
Elements of.
Good evening.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Seat, Tammy, Cherry, have a seat.
It's my husband, Mike.
Welcome. This is your time and place for your presentation before the Dauphin County Gaming Advisory Board for your grant application.
Thanks.
And we're going to give you 15 minutes for your presentation. 10 of which will be for you to present your project to us. And then at the 10-minute mark, we'll stop you and we'll 5 minutes of questions and answers. So what we would ask that you do is introduce yourselves, your capacity with your organization, and then go ahead and proceed with your presentation.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for staying late. I appreciate it. I know.
This is we're right on time.
Good.
But I know it's a long day for all of you. I heard you were here from like three to now, so, and we're the last one, so super. How do you work this? Because this, I'm not so familiar with it.
Down arrow.
The down arrow
Yes.
advance, okay, perfect. Let me just see if it works. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
So my name's Mike Dunham. My wife Eleanor Dunham. We work for Elements of Health. So.
And-
anyway.
Okay, so basically it's a functional medicine wellness in Hummelstown, right on Main Street. And so this is part of our thing here, Together for Health. I will introduce some of our team members here. So I'm an MD, I also have an MBA. This is our team. I am the CEO and owner of Elements of Health. And this, Melanie on the right is a CRNP. Carrie on the left is our injector. She's an RN. Heidi is a health coach, and Mike has his medical assistant, so he helps with a lot of our machines. But we have been in business maybe for 2.5 years now. And between the combined requirement of all of us here as healthcare professionals, we have over 100 years of experience. I just had my 30th med school anniversary. I was also trained in the military. I am a military veteran, so I've had experience taking care of people when I was deployed, and then left. I was in Desert Storm, and then I left in right before 9/11 when I did my residency. So I got out right before then.
Very good for you. It's a lot.
Yeah. And so I'm emergency medicine trained, but I also do some addiction medicine, and then this is my business of functional medicine. I can tell you a little bit more about that. I don't know how to get rid of that manage engine patch. I don't know how to do that. So what I like to do is help keep our community stay healthy. And so in the emergency department, I see all of the crises. So I, after COVID, went to the other side of that to do more preventative, because unfortunately insurance companies pay for disease. They do not pay to prevent that. So if you look at all the insurance companies, they do not pay for any type of wellness. So what I do is I try to work alongside the PCP or the specialist for your health. I take care of a lot of people with Lyme's, long COVID, specifically menopausal, thyroid, and gut issues. And so we think outside of the box, other alternatives for your health. I have been trained in the allopathic system, so I know how to prescribe all the drugs. I know all of that, and I see it in the ED, all the drugs that people are on, which sometimes is really completely unnecessary. But I am a firm believer of, all of that. But I'm also a believer that you shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And there are other things that we can do, like work on your diet, your movement, your sleep, and your stress, reducing stress to help with your health. So that's what we try to do there. I offer the functional medicine. We also do IV therapy. So we have you feeling good on the inside as well as looking good on the outside. So we also do have an aesthetic component, which we do have some machines, the Evolve, the Morpheus, the Lumec, and the Dilates, which also help with that. So again, this is health care we feel is a basic need for everyone, but not everyone has access to healthcare, especially our ADA clients. And so a lot of these patients, we'd like to serve them better, but with our facility and the house that we have on Main Street, it's not ADA compatible. So that's what we're looking to do. Is make it ADA compatible. So Mike is going to talk about it, or you want me to keep going?
I don't know what's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, we had within the last year, which kind of provoked us to request this grant. We had a couple issues that arose that really kind of opened our eyes to what goes on in some of the negatives of some ADA people. Some of the needs they have, we did not, see that as clearly. It came to light clearly with two specific people, but it's a lot more than that. But we had two specific instances that kind of opened our eyes to the need for this.
So one of them is Joshua. He's a public speaker. He has 33,000 followers on Instagram. He's an outdoorsman, reality actor, TV from Texas. Unfortunately, he was injured as a child in a hunting accident and is now a paraplegic. So he was here last year for the Great American Outdoor Show, which is the largest outdoor hunting expo on the East Coast at the farm complex, needed IV therapy. And long and short of it is he went to our place and we had to go through 2 businesses just to get him into our facility because we have stairs and there's no way that we could have lifted him up to bring him in. So, because there's a number of them. So we literally had to go through our masseuse in the back, plus the nationwide insurance person to get to our facility to get him in there. And he was able to get the treatment he needed.
But yeah, it was highly problematic for him to be able to enter our facility. Highly problematic. There was a lot of lifting. There was a lot of hassle with that. But he needed that. It was a need for him. If he would not have gotten his IV fluids, he could have been a lot more dangerous. So we're very happy that we were eventually able to help him out. Because with almost 34,000 followers, and we did not want to post anything negative about us or the area.
Also in our community, there is a patient named Rita. She lives in York. She is our one and only so far house call. She has had multiple sclerosis and has been wheelchair bound since the 1990s. So we kind of felt compelled to, I feel better to go down there and examine her, which I can't do over Zoom. So we went down there to see what her needs were, but there's no way that she would have been able, she's wheelchair bound. She has 24-hour caretaker, so there's no way that she would have been able to get into the facility. So those 2 just kind of highlight the need for that. I also have, there's a lot of veterans that need exams that unfortunately with those veterans, they have to have ADA compliance. We cannot contract with any of those people that need that because that's a requirement from the VA to have it. So this is what our place looks like now. As you can see with the stairs, this was built in the 1800s. I think it was a blacksmith place prior. So there's no easy access to the 2nd floor. It is very narrow in the hallways. So it's difficult also to maneuver around the corners. There's not a lot of lighting. And so, it feels like you're kind of in a cave in some areas of the building. And so we would like to be able to support our ADA patients if we had some better access to our facility. And so this is kind of like what it could look like. Basically, we could get a thing that is 4 seasons room that is insulated for both winter and summer. So we can update to the 2020s. Basically, we could also get an elevator possibly in here, and with the windows, the natural lighting is just great for, healing and better attitude towards their health. So again, 4 seasons room, insulated for winter. We don't have to do major demolition. So we have a big front porch, as you can see from the first picture here, so that we don't have to, do a whole lot, just maybe take out a little part of that wall in the front there where the windows are, and then slap that onto the existing structure. That way we can keep the historical structure intact and obviously build a wheelchair ramp to the front door. So obviously some simple ways to support would be to, we get the grant funding, we can get this process underway. Improves quality of life for both Borough of Hummelstown as well as our ADA community. And it also supports small businesses like ours, and which is another that I found out about that I will look into as well to see if we can apply for that as well, since we are right on Main Street. So thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for staying so late. I appreciate your help and anything that you can do to help us move this along and help our communities be healthier. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you. Ellen? I have no questions. I have a very thorough presentation and all the information very logical and thoughtful. I have no questions. Mike? No questions. Committee?
No questions.
No, thank you. How about Latoya?
Yeah, what's the address of the facility?
40 West Main Street.
Does Elemental Health own the building, or would you be improving someone else's property?
So, so another LLC owns the building. I actually happen to have that LLC too. But it's not Elements.
So you have authorization to make some.
Correct. That is correct. Yeah, that's under, but Elements of Health is part of. There's a barber shop upstairs, there's 2 masseuses, and, yeah, that's it. Oh, and Nationwide.
Thank you.
What other funding sources are being contributed to the project? So it's either gonna be applying for other grants, or private. Like, you know, like I said, I need to look into the ministry matters. I only found out about this in like November, December of last year, so it was too late to check it out.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Drive safely tonight.
Thank you, I
All
appreciate
right.
it. Have a good evening.
You too.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays.